folks. Good evening, everybody. We're going to do the pledge, and then if you could remain standing for a moment of reflection and honoring our servicemen and women overseas, our law enforcement, and everybody that's job is to protect us. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In case you're wondering, Council President Bowers on vacation. I am your host this evening.
Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice on December 10, 2021. It was posted on the municipal bulletin board and should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilwoman McCullough.
Here.
Vice President Vacara.
Here.
And President Bauer. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from July 5th, 2022?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we will take letter A listed on the agenda, which is an ordinance to adopt the Cutters Dock Road redevelopment plan. With that said, can I get a motion that the ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A only.
Good evening, as always, I'm curious about what we're doing with the redevelopment plan. Can you elaborate on point A and what that's going to entail?
We're, to my knowledge, we're just adding a parcel to the redevelopment area that's already been established there.
And what is that redevelopment doing? Is it more apartments or is it warehousing?
That I am not sure of.
Warehouse and light industrial.
Light industrial,
How large?
Unknown.
I'm not sure if we're there yet, Mr. Mowers.
Thank you. I'll follow up there.
Thanks for your question.
Any other questions, comments on letter A?
John regarding the same question. I just believe on food in the private road. Is a possibility in this area over there, end of the Fulton Street and Carter Road, put additional houses, apartments, or some place, a possibility?
That has nothing to do with this ordinance.
No, but if you say the housing law,
That has nothing to do with this ordinance.
I would think.
Any other comments this evening?
Frank Schroeder, Woodbridge, New Jersey. Good evening. Particularly for this ordinance, being the denizen of the area, exactly where are we talking about? Are we talking about before that little bridge?
On our side.
Our side?
Yes.
There's not that much land there.
No, Councilman. It's across, when you come down Cutters Dock Road, it's across the train tracks.
Oh, I thought we said it was by the tree guy.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry,
The other side.
but it's on the other side.
So where the pallet company is?
Yeah,
where it
all
used to
those,
be,
yeah, all those businesses down there, yes.
You're gonna take that out?
We're not, but somebody is.
Okay. You don't have any idea what they're putting in their warehouse?
Warehouse.
Warehouse now. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Any other comments from the public on letter A only? Here are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Comments or questions from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is an ordinance authorizing the acquisition of property known as 535 through 537 New Brunswick Avenue in Fords. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B. Letter B only.
Again, Tom Maris, Portsmouth, New Jersey. Curious about this ordinance as well. Is this in any way located to the one that we passed 2 weeks ago for Fords? There was one that were...
Mr. Maris, I don't think we passed it. I think we introduced it.
Okay.
But in this now is to pass it.
What's the cost of that? Do we have an estimate on it? I know it was delayed, we're back with I think about $500,000 last time, I could be
The
wrong.
bond ordinance that follows on first reading is for 2.1 million. I'm sorry, 2.2 with other costs. The purchase price is 2.1, and there'll be other costs of closing and other things to make it 2.2.
Mr. Maris, the pricing mechanism for that project is ordinance number C. Okay. You have it, you don't, it's right there.
And what will be developed on it? It'll obviously take a lot of money. What are we going to put there?
Senior housing,
How many units?
about 55, but don't hold me to exactly that.
All right, that's fair enough. Thank you.
Any other comments on letter B? There are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Listed before you are first reading ordinances, letters C and D. Can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on July 22nd, 2022, with notice of public hearing to be held on August 2nd, 2022 at 6 p.m.
Motion.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And finally, Mr. President, under resolutions, you have numbers 1 through 20 inclusive. Can I get a motion to approve 1 through 20?
Motion.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's it.
Thank you. Okay. Read the, at this time, we will go to the public portion of the meeting. Please, if you will, state your name, the part of the township that you're in, and you have a 5-minute, and I'll try to give you at least a 1 or 2 minute warning so that you're not interrupted towards the end. And again, if anybody's taking videos, please do it from the designated area over there, and basically just be kind to each other. So, public portion is now open.
Are there any comments from the public this evening?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kirk Dawkins. I'm from Island. I live at Woodbridge Hills Housing in Island. It's an active adult community, senior community. In order to live there, you have to be 55 and older. Now, I was really expecting Mr. Coughlin to be here. This is concerning rent control that I want to talk about. Now, the thing is, I understand the rent leveling board is the board or the part of this township that regulates rent control. And I have been corresponding with Mr. Coughlin about this rent control over here at Woodbridge Hills. And the last correspondence I got from him that the Woodbridge Hills was owned by the Fish family and the Wolf family. I don't know if all y'all know the Wolf family and the Fish family are billionaires. They respectively own Continental Properties and Garden Homes. And those two organizations they own Woodbridge Developers. And the issue I have, right, is that there's I wanted to read the statute, if you don't mind, bear with me, regarding rent control here in New Jersey. And the statute is New Jersey Statute, Section 2A 42-84.2 applicability of municipal rent control ordinances. A, in any municipality which has enacted or which hereafter enacts a rent control or rent leveling ordinance other than under the authority of such and such, those provisions of the ordinance which limit the periodic or regular increases in base rentals of dwelling units shall not apply to multiple dwellings constructed after the effective date of this act for a period of time not to exceed the period of amortization of any initial mortgage loan obtained for the multiple dwelling or for 30 years following completion of construction, whichever is less. And B of the ordinance, in the event that there is no initial mortgage financing, the period of exemption from a rent control or rent leveling ordinance shall be 30 years from the completion of the construction.
Just
Now-
under 2 minutes, Mr. Dawkins, I just want to let you know.
I'm under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're not
I'm
surprised.
going to speed up.
Sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Now, I'm here speaking for, there's 800 residents that live in Woodbridge Hills. And what it is that, on our lease, it mentions the rent exemption, the rent control exemption, goes in like in 2031, right? But if you look at the initial mortgage, and the initial mortgage means the first mortgage. The initial mortgage, right, started in the year 2000. Now, the initial mortgage, according to the mortgage documents that I have, the initial mortgage ended, and in the documents it says it ends either in 2004 or 2009. Now, I think the law is really clear, right? Now, if the initial mortgage ends, they got 2 different dates on there, maturity dates. In that mortgage, it doesn't mention the word amortization, but it does have a maturity date of 2004 and 2009. So I'm saying then that Woodbridge Hills, I believe, should have been under rent control a long time ago. And to this day, they're raising our rents 8%. For every resident is 8%. It should be capped at 5%. Now I don't know. Okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dawkins.
That's okay.
If you stay till the end of the meeting, I'd be happy to talk to you further. And okay,
Because I've spoken to Mr. Dawkins before about this.
okay,
It's not,
Mr. Dawkins, if you have the time to
Oh,
hang
I'll
out.
stay.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments from the public this evening?
John Dr. Woodbridge. Back in June 21st, I was a councilman over here, and I said about certain these violations to the Woodbridge Public Works, cutting trees on a residential property. Just want to make it short. You know who it is, who lives there. And I was told that time that it's not so. And I did say I do have a proof, I have a pictures. And I was told, the councilman, President Council, to submit my pictures and proof to Mr. Mitchell over there. And I did it. And I did ask him, please send me back the pictures. He did. On July 5th, I came here and I asked Council and the mayor, of course, Mr. Drew wasn't there. That was actually, he's the one who should know most of the answers. We just saw the pictures, and just saw the proof. And that time the mayor stepped in, he said, well, we have to do it, because what happened is, you don't want the trees to fall on power lines, and a lot of people be out of electricity. They also do, if it's trees, who's supposed to do sewers. We don't do it. It says right on the application, only on a public right of way. you gotta do the work. You did it on a private property. And again, on the June 21st, Mr. True said, I asked him who makes the decision. Did you see the properties? They said, no, none of them. The administration saw the property. And I said, who makes the decision? He says, the foreman does. Well, I'm sure Mr. Lopez was one that the coffee, she said they measured. I believe Mr. Lopez did the measure. My question is, did he saw those pictures? Do you agree what he did? And the last on July 5th, the mayor stepped in and take it over. Makes me believe it wasn't Mr. Lopez that decided to cut the streets. It was somebody for administration that did this. But again, I think it's appropriate public funds. I did talk to the people that work for the township, and they said that's a couple of thousand to start a job. Not just to cut the trees. On June 9th, you went and took out the stumps. I know people live down a Hunter Drive, they cut it 3 years ago, the stumps are still there, they're probably right over. But again,
Excuse me, 2 minutes, Mr. Vitale, just want to let you know, sorry.
thank you, I just want to point, this is what we cannot do. I don't think you should take advantage of the public money for somebody's, I understand it's a luxury. It doesn't look good. How many other places does it have? This is one incident I know of, and the reason I know of because I got 2 letters from an individual, I don't know who it was or who she is, that this is what's happening. And people are very concerned. A lot of us need our work. But again, if you do for one, you got to do for all, or you don't do it at all. And the mayor sounds like mayor knows who did it, and he says, well, if it fails, the trees fall on the power lines. That's a lot of people hit telephone poles and the trees, but most of them were drunk. But I never saw a tree fell on a power line in Woodbridge. And not the power.
What?
Yeah, sure.
You never saw a tree knock down a power line in Woodbridge?
No.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I did, because of drunken driving.
But now you did.
Yeah.
So before you didn't, now you did. Were you here for Ida? Were you here for Sandy? Were you here for Irene?
The question I'm asking, was that work done on a public right of way, or was done on a private property? Mr. Drew?
Council President, can I just shed some light on the situation?
By the way, there's 25 seconds, so when Mr. Brew answers, your time is
But
up.
that's it, I just want to make sure, as long as he gets the floor. Go ahead.
I got you. I don't want
So, this particular tree in instance, I mean, we get a call of Public Works. Number one, the last thing we do is ask your name. Okay, so the tree in question was on the side road of Hunter Lane. There was a limb on the sidewalk. There was a neighbor concerned, there was a dead limb on the sidewalk. Tree was dead over the adjoining neighbor's power lines. Our supervisors went out there, and I'm not sure who Mr. Lopez is, but our supervisor went out there, deemed the tree hazardous. It was 8 feet from the curb line. He started to cut the tree. There was another tree entangled into that tree as he had to trim off those limbs. Now that tree was leaning onto the next door neighbor's property. Okay, so now we've created a hazard. Now that tree may have been 9 feet, 10, I don't know the exact measurement. The supervisor on the job at the time deemed it a hazard, and we're responsible if we leave it. He made the call. It was a very small tree. He cut it down. It would have taken out the lady's power lines, and once we're involved, now we do have a liability. The first tree was certainly in the public right of way. When we do a job, it's a complete job. Anyone in this town that has, we were out last night for 4 different trees that came down due to windstorm. Some were involved with power lines. So when we do a job, it's complete. The branches are trimmed, the street is raked, the lawns are blown off, the sidewalks are blown off. Then we come back and we do the stump. If there's another stump that Mr. Vitale is referencing, I'll look into it. That was not. ground, but we do the job complete. In the height of any storm, we don't leave a job until it's finished. Our truck, the guys are out there with the blowers, rakes, everything is cleaned. So we don't have to go back. But we were in the right of way on this particular tree. There was a hazard that we had to trim off something out of another tree that we created. We removed the tree.
Thank you, Director.
That's all I have to say.
Mr. Bitar, your time is up.
I'll be next one.
Look forward to it.
Frank Trumpetore, Woodbridge. Good evening.
Good evening.
I would like further to the Cutter Dock expansion. Do we perceive heightened truck traffic on Cutter Dock Road going over that little bridge?
Maybe compared to what's there now, but probably not compared to what was there in the height of the development back there. And we are working with the Department of Transportation to have that bridge evaluated. Without a doubt, it needs to be replaced. I've been on it, I don't want to go on it anymore, I'm afraid of it. So we're going to definitely work on that bridge and get that fixed.
Thank you, Mayor. About 5 years ago, I stood up here and I asked whether our police, fire, and emergency personnel and communication systems were protected for EMPs. And I got laughed at. But lately, I'm not hearing too much laughter because not a week goes by that we're not warned about solar flares and EMPs disrupting communication. And there are companies that are selling product to put into various vehicles to protect them from EMP so they can be started and run. And it belongs in our police units, our ambulance, and our fire, and in our communication system. And I'd be happy to help the council perhaps find federal funding to do this in our township to protect our citizens. I leave this with the council to decide what they want to do, but I think we need to think about it, especially when you have New York warning of a nuclear explosion and putting out a commercial to state the same. Somebody's trying to warn us about something. But if the council would like some help, I would gladly help them if they wanted it, but it's up to the council. And I thank the administration for putting in a food pantry at KOC. I believe that there are going to be people in our township that are going to need that type of help. There's also one at St. James, so we need to get that out. I believe there's going to be a lot of people going to need help. And I thank you for it.
Actually, Council President, if you don't mind, I know Councilman McAuliffe has an explanation of that. It's not actually a food pantry, but rather a storage area for 11 food pantries. Maybe, Sharon, you want to wait till your
She was
agenda?
bring it up at her agenda.
Okay.
Kind of got that covered. Thanks, Mr. Trumpeter. Anyone else?
Good evening again, Tom Maros. I was kind of amused when Vice President Vacara made a statement earlier, in a nice way, I'm not belittling at all, and we were opening the event for the show, and it's right, it's beat the clock, we got 5 minutes, and that's something I wanted to address. I would hope that the council would consider, all right, 5 minutes seems reasonable, but allow that to be the 5 minutes that the person standing here, be it myself or anybody else in the community, has to address our concerns, whether it could be questions or concerns or something, to the council or to the administration, and thereafter the council respond instead of trying to encapsulate it all in a 5-minute window, which gets to be very, very difficult to really get anywhere. And basically, I think it's kind of un-American. That's not what we're about. And I don't think 5 minutes to allow somebody coming up here to speak to you is over-pressing it. It's not like the old days when we used to banter back and forth for hours. But please consider it and perhaps adopt your, or amend your policies accordingly. At the last meeting I brought up, and Mayor McCormick did comment on it, sinus problems, but it's I know we're having issues with recruiting police officers. I think every municipality is. And it's unfortunate because of what has happened by the defund the police movement. It's horrific. And throughout the state, throughout the country, we have a problem. And I'm sure Woodbridge is faced with it as well. And we're one of the best police departments around. I totally agree with that. So hopefully we can attract, and attracting, I hope we can satisfy people like Mr. Dombrowski and others by diversifying to the best we can. Because if the applicants don't come from the other communities, you can't get them in here. But maybe we can find ways to entice them. I had also mentioned about the possibility of going to substations throughout the town. The mayor said that it might cost money. Well, we spent a lot of money on a lot of other things. But substations would probably reduce fuel costs tremendously. As we all know, they've almost doubled over the last year and a half. It would also present more police presence in the neighborhood in a good way. In that connection, I suggest we could maybe use the Knights of Columbus. We've done a lot for them. They have organizations throughout the town. Use their property, their lot. Maybe you can put trailers there. Or going a step further, perhaps on the schools. Now, I understand that there could be some disagreement on using schools for it, but if we were to fence off the school area where the substation is, that keeps the people that we don't want going into the school area out, but the police presence on the school property would be that much stronger, it would be in the community, and the response times could be that much faster. Again, it's just something for consideration. You know, I listened to Mr. Vitaric, and I was helpful in getting some information for him on that. I will say, my knowledge is you have the 10-foot rule. The cabling or the wiring that was coming in was a household resident wire. It was not a main trunk. So therefore, that would become the owner's responsibility to take care of those trees with the power company. As far as whether it was or not in the 10-foot range, that's easy to find out. We have aerial views, and I went there myself to take pictures because I didn't want Mr. Vitaric going off on something that was incorrect. So I pointed out, I said, I believe that was at least 10 feet. And if you look at the photos, it shows where the thing was stumped and there was covering put down, straw, to cover up where it had been stumped. And you can clearly see from the curb line to there's a fence there. And all we have to do is measure that fence because the trees were on the inside of that fence. That would take care of the argument as far as the distance from the curb and what is the right-of-way versus the person's property. Because if it was truly on their property, I'm sorry, they were responsible for it, and it wasn't a major power line, I don't know about it going to a transformer, it was a power line going to the house. And I've had that done at my residence, and we had to have a power company come in and they trim the trees for us. That's all I have for this evening, but if you'd like to comment on anything I just said, I'd appreciate it.
I think from my perspective, the director gave his explanation on why we were involved there. I don't think we got as technical as feet from the curb or where it is, but something that we did affected something else and we took care of the issue. So I don't think there's really an argument. Mr. Vitaric believes one thing and we're telling you what we did. So there's no argument and your time is up. Thank you.
You. Any other comments from the public this evening?
Good evening. A few meetings back, we had discussed, the mayor and myself, about opting out of the alternative energy program that was coming down the pipe. And you had said at that time, Mr. Mayor, that you'd probably appreciate if our residents had the benefit of opting in rather than finding themselves in a plan they didn't want. And I feel the same way about the new comprehensive health and phys ed standards, and I bring them up because I wanted to find out. I came to see John Haggerty today. He wasn't available. I understand he's not feeling well. My prayers are with him. The assistant was on a call, but I did talk to someone about having a rally so that parents who don't agree that there's 70+ gender identities, for example, or don't believe that children need to be anti-racists in order to prove that they're not racist. We want to help them navigate the opting out of these standards. And I was just wondering if there's any feedback on where, as a taxpayer, we can have a peaceful rally. I am now a chapter president with no left turn in education, and we are a nonprofit. We'd like to help them, just like a voter registration drive, opt out of those standards. Is there any comment we can get or clarity on? Do we have to wait for Mr. Haggerty, or is there someone else who can give me some instruction?
I certainly don't have administration.
We have no comment on the actual issue, but anybody who wants to have a peaceful protest just has to contact, is it, you guys, right?
We appreciate if you contact us so we can make sure you have a safe rally, but you could have a rally.
As far as venues, though, is there like a public square or something that's visible where, you know?
You can go right in front of Town Hall.
Yeah.
That's where most people go.
And again, I'm not characterizing it as a protest. I just want to give people some guidance on what is coming down the pike and what they can do about it. Thank you very much for your time. Do I have time to ask another question?
Yeah, oh yeah. You have 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I'm sorry, Mr.
Thank you.
So sensitive.
Perfectly all right. A couple meetings back, I had a conversation with Mr. Anderson talking about power plant. And I think we got our signals crossed as to exactly what transpired there. My question still remains. My concern, I'm one of those who said drill, baby, drill. I'd love to see fossil fuels fully exploited instead of pandering around the world for them. We have so much under our own ground. I'm more concerned with the allergens that have no place no trees, hardly any trees left with all the overdevelopment around here, than I am with particulate matter and the plant food known as carbon dioxide. So my question is the benefit strictly cleaning up the radioactivity that's been there for at least 30, 40 years? The energy, we're not going to see it. And there's going to be some, I guess, some revenue, some tax revenue. But my concern is that it's not generally the tax revenue that comes in from all the development and from this power plant. We don't see any tax relief from it. All we see is more development, more congestion, more traffic, more crime reported. And really, what is the benefit to the citizens that are trying like heck to stay put in the towns that they love growing up in? The town, not the city.
Council President, as I've said many times, over and over, the main benefit was the cleanup of probably one of the worst sites in the entire county, if not the tri-county, multi-county area, wherever you want to put it. This was an awful site. It was radioactive. It still is not completely cleaned up. It's being turned into, it was already turned into one power plant. The plan is for a second one, and there's 50 acres of preserved wetlands that'll serve as a recreation area with access to the Raritan River, which doesn't exist anywhere in Woodbridge Township right now, for canoeing, for hiking, for boating, for fishing, with nature trails and all kinds of things. That's the greater plan. You can't discount the millions of dollars we will get. This current budget, well, the budget that just ended, June 30th, has $18 million from pilots, from development. That's $18 million that otherwise would have been paid for by the town taxpayers. That's very, very substantial. This project is multi-million dollars a year, as soon as it opens, to continuing for 30 years. It's a very, very significant tax rateable, probably the biggest one in town. So that cannot be discounted. As to the environmental issues, your argument there is with the DEP. We passed it because it met all of our requirements. I don't know all the issues about about the air and all the different things. That's not our expertise. That I would recommend you call the State Department of Environmental Protection and give your opinions there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Lund. Since we're on that topic, next Wednesday, the 27th at 6 p.m. at NJIT in Newark, and next Thursday, the 28th, virtually through the Department of Environmental Protection website, they're having discussions on environmental justice, and I'm sure those topics will come up, so I just figured I'd mention that.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public this evening? Here are no other comment. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
In favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Go to the agenda.
Thank you. We're going to the agenda, and for some reason I get to go first. So I'm going to start out with the Senior Olympics. As you know, they'll be September 9th, 10th, and 11th. The booklet is out, everyone. Woodbridge residents, if you register by August 26th, You will pay $10 for 3 sporting events instead of 40, so that's a $30 savings. There's a website, NewJerseySeniorOlympics.com, and there's also a hotline, 973-618-1111. Moving into the recreation area, the Woodbridge Community Center has a number of activities going on that you can participate in inside the cool air. There's ice skating and roller skating. Outside, our mini golf is up and running, and our batting cages, and also the beautiful pavilion that a lot of people do not know about in the back is also available, and you can rent it. It's a great place for parties, everything from birthdays to engagements and things of that nature. So that is our community center. I had mentioned the announcement, and Assemblyman Coughlin's office did a great job with announcing the new lifeline number for mental health issues. That's 988. It's very similar to our 911, but this is for mental health issues, so I'd like to bring that up again. Out on the horizon is the August 3rd is our annual pizza run. That's a 4-mile run, and you could register on CompuScore, CompuScore.com, and then just put WB Pizza. That's a nice annual run. From Mr. Green in our health department, the future clinics, as you know, Mayor McCormick does a good job of keeping us updated on the COVID numbers that come up, but future clinics are July 28th, 12 plus adult clinic at 4 to 6, walk-ins are accepted, and on August 2nd, 6 months to 11, child clinic, and that's 4 to 6, and appointments are required for that. If you have any question, as I said, the mayor does do updates on this, but if you have any questions about the vaccine and ages and things of that nature, you can go to the number of 732-855-0600, extension 5004. And that's all I have. Councilman Small, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Thank you, Council President. On my agenda, number 7, school projects. We still have construction going on at School 25 and School 28. Number 12, National Public Lands Day will be September 24th. As we get closer, I'll have more information. Number 18, the Woodbridge Elks is having a boardwalk night on July 30th, and it's 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Administration, Mr. Semaluca, if somebody from your office can kindly call our good neighbor, Conrail. It's been a few years since the property behind our residence on Rosewood Lanes got cleaned up, the weeds, the poison ivy, the rodent situation. If you could see if you could get them out there to maintain their property, I'd appreciate it. Just want to thank all our first responders, all our township employees, and God bless America. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Councilman. By the way, I'm only the Vice President. I'm the President.
Well,
Councilwoman?
as Councilman Spiller said, once a president,
That's
always
right.
a president.
Councilwoman Day, you're up.
Thank you. Item number 5, police community relations. I would just like to congratulate all the recent graduates of the Junior Police Academy. We attended the graduation last Friday, and there will be a graduation for the second week this Friday. And again, I think it's one of the best programs that we have in our township for our youth. So I just want to congratulate all of our police officers are involved, and the kids that started out on Monday and didn't quit and graduated on Friday. Item number 8, I want to announce that the Hispanic Heritage Festival will take place on Saturday, September 17th on Main Street. I will have more information in the coming weeks. Item number 9, the Barron Arts Center. Dolores Stewart, the dramatization of American culture, is on view now at the Barron Arts Center until August 12th. Barron Fest will be October 8th this year, and it will be at the Acacia Youth Center. You can now register to be a participant. The registration deadline is September 12th. Please call the Barron Arts Center at 732-634-0413 for more information. The Woodbridge Public Libraries, the library will present Crazy Science with the Greenway Family Success Center this Saturday from 10:30 to 11:30 at the Woodbridge Center Mall as part of the Kids Club's programs, Fun for All Ages. The library will also be at the Farmers Market this Saturday from 9:12 to give out library cards and summer reading information for all locations. All children departments of the township libraries will collect supplies for the annual backpack and school supply giveaway beginning on Monday, July 25th. They will have bins in all the children's departments, and you can drop any donation in there. The main library will also present a virtual program on the benefits of meditation on Tuesday, July 26th at 7 p.m. Register online at woodbridgelibrary.org. And my last item, the Girl Scouts. There will be a Girl Scout camporee on September 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th at the Scout Pavilion on Omar Avenue in Avenel. That is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Spiller.
Thank you, Council Vice President Ficarra. Item number 1, Avenel Community Day and Holiday Lighting. I'd like to congratulate recent Colonia High School graduates Salma and Rayan on being presented with this year's Avenel Community Day Earl and Marge Runkle Memorial Scholarship. Each year, the award is given to 2 seniors who exemplify community service and volunteerism. Congratulations to both, and best of luck on their next journey. Item number 4, the Woodbridge Golden Saints have started their 2022 football and cheer registration. Students from kindergarten through 2nd grade can participate in flag football and cheer, and 3rd grade through 8th can participate in tackle and cheer. Each registered player will receive a ticket to the Rutgers Golden Saints Youth Day, the first home game, and a Rutgers t-shirt. You can register online at www.woodbridgegoldensaints.org or email the board at goldensaints.org. Item number 9, the Avenel Knights of Columbus, Columbian Club of Avenel. We recently presented scholarships to 6 students from the township, including 1 at each of our high schools. I'd like to congratulate all of them and wish them luck on their next journey. Staying on agenda item number 9, I'd just like to take a moment to offer my condolences to the family of past Grand Knight and current Columbian Club President Wendell Uberhauer. When I first approached the mayor and administration about my desire to have a Maple Tree Senior Center at the Knights Columbus building, they let me roll with it, and I began to discuss it with Wendell. Wendell was the driving force there, making sure the senior center would happen for us. Not only a good friend of mine, but he was a good friend of the township, so God bless. The rest of my agenda is in order. Council Vice President, just a few announcements. Congratulations and welcome to the 3 new businesses that opened up at 875 Port Reading Avenue. 875 Port Reading Plaza now houses a Best 99 Plus gift shop, 5-star beauty salon, and an office use. The property was an abandoned piece of property, and now with the new building comes landscaping and lighting, and is a much better use for the Port Reading Ave corridor. Stay cool, don't overdo it, stay hydrated. Thank you to all emergency responders, fire, EMS, our Woodbridge Police Department, CERT, and all of our public works employees. God bless America. Thank you, Council Vice President Ficarra.
Thank you, Councilman Spiller. Councilwoman Meehan, you're up.
Thank you. My agenda is in order, going down to number 4 on my agenda, events. The Colonia Charity Wiffle Ball Tournament and Family Day will be held on Saturday, July 30th at the Little Fellows Field in Colonia. Registration will begin at 10:30 and the games will start at 11 o'clock. There's still time to get a team in, but you must pre-register by July 25th to allow us time to make up our schedule. The cost is $10 per person, which includes a barbecue, and if you don't play wiffle ball, you can come to the barbecue. That is $10 and just enjoy some fun. All proceeds from that event will be donated to PJ Pascali of Island, who was severely injured in a car accident in February, to help with his medical costs. Also, if you can, please keep him in your prayers. He's going to have major brain surgery this week, so he needs all the prayers he can get. Going down to number 5 for food pantries. During the year, we remind residents to donate to our food pantries. During the holidays, we get a lot of food. Over the summer, it quiets down a bit. So if you go to one of our concerts this summer, they're free. If you could just bring a can of food, there's a location set up by the stage. It is greatly appreciated, and it'll help refill our food pantry. Going down to number 13, domestic violence, is just to save the date. Colonia Country Club will be having a Hawaiian party on September 16th. All donations will be donated to the Woodbridge Township Domestic Violence Response Team. If you want more information or to buy tickets, you can reach out to the club itself at 732-381-9500. And lastly, I just want to give Colonia residents an update on the library. As you know, the Colonia Library was severely damaged during Hurricane Ida last fall, rendering it unusable since the storm. The amount of work necessary to bring the facility back into operations is significant and can probably best be described as extreme makeover. We're happy to report that after a competitive bidding process, we've hired a quality roofer who is expected to begin work in the next few weeks. It made sense to start with the roof in case we have bad weather. This way, anything inside wouldn't be damaged. We cannot provide a firm estimate of the completion of the project, but we are hoping sometime within the next few months. We're at the mercy of the supply of the chain and the availability of lumber and building supplies and material. So we appreciate your patience during the reconstruction project. We are confident that by the end of the results, that the library will be something you're proud of and you'll once again use often. I know a lot of people bring their children there. It's a great place to meet, and it's sorely missed by the community of Colonia. So we're looking forward to getting that back up. And that's it. Enjoy your summer. Be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. Councilman Anderson, you're up.
Thank you, Council President, or however you wish to be referred to. My agenda is in order. I do want to announce that the Boy Scouts will also be having a camporee on September 23rd and 24th and 25th at the Scout Pavilion on Omar Avenue in Avenel. So I'm sure they'll be fighting over space there for where they're going to put their sleeping bags with the boys. But I think it should be a fun event, and it's nice to know that our scouts are able to camp out here in Woodbridge Township. And let's see, Rec Department, I would like to announce that volleyball is part of our recreation program for 5th through 8th grade, boys and girls, first time ever, and it's great that we're adding these sports. I know that we were challenged a few weeks ago about what we do for our kids in town. Councilwoman De Jesus mentioned the Junior Police Academy. In addition to that, I can't think of anything and any other town that does what we do for our students and our children during the summertime. So I just want to commend our Recreation Department and our new addition to the Recreation Department, Mr. Bobby Tominski, for all that he's doing with our kids and creating new programs for them to be active in. I do want to congratulate student athlete from Colonia High School, Taylor Durkak. She's already been offered 2 scholarships for basketball. She was on the national championship team for her AAU team, and she's already seen, she's got another year left of eligibility here in high school, but she's already been offered by DePaul University and Monmouth University. So those are 2 great Division I programs, but I think that there's more to come for her. So it'll be exciting to be announcing that and announcing her game next year, her games next year. Councilman Ficarra, I do want to thank you for sharing the Raritan Bay Y is looking for preschool teachers and teacher assistants. If you are a preschool teacher or you are a teacher assistant looking for any employment, please contact Shimone, SHOMONE.Wheeler, WHEELER, at RBAYMCA.org. And her phone number is 732-442-3633, extension 7008. I would also like to, I know many of us know about it, but since our last meeting, we had former Councilwoman Sandy Benny, who passed away, and she was laid to rest last week. Very sorry about that. And I'm on the Hall of Fame committee with Councilman Ficarra. Joe Higgins, who was class of 1964, who was beyond graduation, went on to star at Rutgers for 3 years, where he was a team captain on their baseball team, and he was drafted by the San Francisco Giants, where he played 7 years of minor league baseball. That said, the class announcement for our Hall of Fame. So as you know, with COVID-19, we've had a hiatus with our class inductees, and we have a great class. I want to commend the board, and led by Dr. Nick Sardone, puts in a lot of effort, a lot of work on, and doing a lot of homework and research to make sure that we not only put together a great board, but that all of their records check out. I do want to mention the teams. There are a number of individuals. The reason I'm mentioning the teams because we are trying to get in touch with some of the members of some of the teams. So each high school was able to select a team. Colonia High School selected their 1980 softball team. The individuals have all been contacted, so I'm mentioning the teams. If you are aware of anybody from the 1980 softball team from Colonia High School that has not been contacted, or if you know of anybody that played on that softball team, make sure that they're aware. JFK, their 1992 baseball team, I heard that they are doing very well, as Coach Smith has contacted many of his players, and he's always been in touch with his players, and they should have a good attendance at the event, and that'll be in the fall. And the one team that we are looking for some help on contacting is the 1970 Woodbridge football team. They were the Central Jersey Group 4 sectional champions. They had a 7-2 record, and they were the Greater Jersey Conference Central Division 1 champions. If you know anybody on that 1970 team, we are trying to get in touch with members of that team, as we'd like for them to be represented, especially them being the seniors of the group, and we may need some help in tracking them down. Other than that, I will say, if it's the summertime and you're looking for employment, please go on to our township website. We have added some new companies, and they're specifically on our website looking for Woodbridge Township residents that are out of employment right now. And that's all I have. I just want to thank everybody for all of their hard work, and all of our first responders, and looking forward to spending the rest of my summer enjoying Woodbridge Township. So please go out and ride those bicycles as well. Councilman Small, I know the bicycle program is on your agenda. I have seen some people out riding those bikes recently, and it's nice to see that the bikes are being used. So.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Councilman Anderson, why did you look at me when you were looking for players from the 1970s?
Hey,
We're looking right
somebody
at
said
me.
you might have played against those guys, but I don't know.
Councilman Patel, nice job on the seconds today. You're up.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. Thank you.
All right, Councilwoman McCullough.
Thank you. My agenda is in order. There's a lot going on in Woodbridge and Seawarren, so I do have several announcements. First, like the mayor had said, we have exciting news. The town has secured the lease with the Knights of Columbus, located on the corner of Main and Highway 35. This will be a hub for distribution to our 11 food banks located throughout the township. We will be making refrigeration improvements, adding large coolers for perishable items, as well as storage for dry goods that come in bulk from many donations that the town receives. This will allow us to offer more benefits to those in need. The food bank will not be a pickup location. You will still go to your regular food bank for your pickups. This is a storage facility for large donations that we receive. Events. The local band Thursday has been doing very good in Seawarren. We're very excited about that. So please come out again this Thursday to see 92 South, and next Thursday Black Rose. The location is at Herbert Rankin Park, which is located on Ferry Street in Seawarren, across from Moby Dick's, and the concerts start at 7:30. Our Buy Local program is still in need to have people get out there and shop local. So please go on to Downtown Dollars and purchase a gift certificate. And when you make a purchase, you can also get money for yourself to spend downtown. There's over 30 retailers in the downtown area that are involved in this program, and it'll really help us buy local. The arts, number 9. The Gallery on Main will be holding 2 pop-up art shows at the Avenel Performing Arts Center, located at 150 Avenel Street in Avenel. These events will feature artist work from the artists that we have on display at the Gallery on Main. These events will be held on Friday, July 22nd from 7 to 10, and then once again in August, Sunday, the 28th of August from 2 to 5. The artists will be providing some of their exceptional pieces, and the artists will be there also if you have any questions about the pieces that will be on display. As Lizbeth said, we have another young junior academy for the fire department as well as the police, and they will be having their second graduation service on Friday. This class has 17 students will be graduating from the Fire Academy, and we saw the last Academy graduation last Friday, and it was really exciting. They did a lot of things there. They went to the Academy down in Sayreville. They got some cars from the impound center, and they were taught how to extract bodies from them if they were injured. They learned how to use fire extinguishers, as well as how to put out a small fire in the house. So this is a really good program. The young boys and girls that graduated from the program last week were very excited, and I'm sure that the ones that are going to graduate this Friday will have done just as good of a job, and congratulations to all of them as well. The C. Warren Library still has their Aloha Summer Free program going on through September 17th. So please stop by the library for more information. The hours are Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 and Saturday from 10 to 2. If you hadn't had a chance to stop by our Woodbridge Farmers Market located in the Town Hall parking lot, it is still there every single Saturday from 9 to 1 now through October. Tomorrow, the Main Street Car Show will be held from 6 to 9 with the awards given out around 9 o'clock, but the cars need to arrive by 5:30, so come out and check out some of the cars that are on display, and if you go and get your downtown dollars, you can use them at the eateries. That'll be open on Main Street on Wednesday night also. Tomorrow, July 20th, the Elks will be holding, the Elks Bike Club will be holding the fundraiser for Gloria Mazer Sorokak and her son Stephen. So that'll be held from 6 to 9 at the Elks on Rowway Avenue. And there's still time to make a donation. If you'd like to make a donation for this family, you can contact Vicki Weber at 908-930-8808. And finally, I'd like to give a shout out to Becky Schwarzenstein. She's an art teacher from JFK, and she did an amazing job with the Girl Scout mural that was painted with assistance of the Girl Scout Troop 80228. So if you take a drive through the underpass at Legion Drive, you'll see the beautiful work that they did there. And a special thanks to Brian Molnar and to all the township staff that was involved, because this was a very big project. It took a long time to put it together, and it came out really beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman McAuliffe. Mr. Mitch?
Thank you, Mr. President. My agenda is in order.
That's nice. Director Hubner? Thank you, Director Gardner.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening, thank you.
You guys are on the game. Director Brew, don't blow it.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order.
Very good. Director Green's not here. Business Administrator Semaluka.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening.
1,000 here. Legal?
We have several items tonight, Council President.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?